Hey, what's up guys, it's Marv, and this is the SALEEN S7 Twin Turbo in its multiplayer season. I'm playing it at Golden, Max, and I really love this car. So I'm going to talk about the event and my recommendation around this car, and of course the stats. But before I get into that, of course, I want to ask if you would like to follow me more on social media. You can do so by clicking the links in the description. I'm on Twitter and Instagram, and of course, if you want to chat with me, you can do so on Discord. And yeah, I hope to see you guys over there. So let's talk about the S7, because this is one of the best supercars in my opinion. It comes from that late 90s, early 2000s golden age of supercars, and I'm so happy that Gameloft has decided to add a bunch of those types of cars recently to the game, like some of the old XJR Jaguar cars and some of the other cars as well. I really do love this era of supercars, and I'm so glad to see the SALEEN back because it is a classic. Now, in terms of its stats, I was pretty surprised to see how well it matches up compared to some of the other really good S-Class cars. Now, because this rank is 4,629 at max, I wasn't expecting it to be a king, and of course it really isn't. And really, there's only one major downside with this car, and that is the acceleration. At max, it is just below 70, which is pretty darn slow. So when I was thinking about this car and thinking like, okay, what purpose does this car serve? I was actually hit right in the face with it, because as you're seeing in the video, the game mode is Ghost Slipstream, and that is absolutely perfect for this car, because as soon as the race begins, as shown in this video, you start out behind everyone else, which means you can ride their slipstream immediately as soon as the race starts, and then blow past everyone else and stay in the lead for a while. Now, that acceleration is a double-edged sword, because I can imagine if you play in classic mode, you're not going to do very well at all, especially in S-Class, because there are not only faster cars, but there are faster cars that have better acceleration at the same time. So even though this car has really good handling, of course, if you're trying to compete with cars like the Jesko, you're not really gonna win. So I think really this car only makes sense in Ghost Slipstream. I think it'll be a very competent car in normal multiplayer with Ghost Slipstream, but for classic, I can't imagine this will do very well. But again, going back to that handling, like I said, it's extremely good. It's not as sharp as the Jesko, but I'd say it's really good for an S-Class car. Now, you do lose quite a bit of speed when you're in a prolonged drift, so keep an eye out for that, but you can do some pretty sharp, quick movements with this car and not lose too much speed. And the nitro efficiency really helps you get up to speed if you save up, because the nitro efficiency of 77 is probably one of the highest in S-Class, and so that certainly helps give you shockwave all of the time, but again, you're gonna be slowed down by that acceleration. Now, really, if this car didn't have a good top speed, it maxes out at around 280 miles an hour with nitro, then I don't think it would be competitive at all, because good handling and nitro efficiency doesn't really make sense in S-Class unless you also have good acceleration, because the other high-end S-Class cars happen to have good handling just because they need to, or else they wouldn't make sense in the game at all. So even on twistier tracks, I don't think this car would make sense if it had a lower top speed. So I'm glad they gave it 280 miles an hour of top speed, because that's really good. It makes it competitive. And I think for a somewhat mid-range S-Class car, I mean, it's right next to the Regera, so maybe it is a more high-end S-Class car. I think it's really good. And I was really looking forward to it until I saw the event conditions and requirements, and then I shed a single tear and moved on, because there's no way I'm able to unlock this car, unfortunately. I'm not just going to dump tokens into the multi-packs that have some very useless S-Class car, and then to try and get this car, maybe, because I don't think I'd be able to get the key, I'd have to open key packs, and well, we all know how my luck is with key packs. So if you have the required cars in the event and you can unlock the key packs, I think it would be worth it to give it a shot because of how good this car is. But the other thing you have to consider is that the Black Friday event is only a couple of months away, and we just have no idea what type of stuff they're going to drop on us. And I always like saving up for the Black Friday event. Whether or not I choose to go for the cars in that event is a different story. But I'm hoping this time around they'll give us something spicy like the Hennessy Venom F5, maybe, please Gameloft. But yeah, this car is in a weird position. I really like it. Its handling is great. The nitro is great, although I only think this car makes sense in Ghost Slipstream, which happens to be my favorite game mode anyway. But I love the look of this car. I love this classic era of supercars that are being brought back in Asphalt 9. So I want to recommend this car because objectively it is a good car, but I think you have to analyze your own situation to where if you want to save up for something else, or if you think you have a good shot at getting this car, it would be a worthy investment. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts about the SALEEN S7 Twin Turbo in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.